All right. Just proud of our team from last night. These two right here were really special. They really set the tone early in the ball game. Defensively, they were really, really good. Very active. Energy was outstanding. Jazz was. She's really playing at a high level right now, leading our team. 6 assists, no turnovers. Um, Defensively was just a monster, and she just she's just really playing, leading our team right now, and is very consistent. She is very, very consistent, and the most important stat she's getting every night is the W. As a point guard, that's the one you're worried about, but boy, her other stats are really good as well. Jordan, consistent again, just has been playing at a high level. Was a little nicked up actually going into the game, and gutted it out and played really well. 4 assists, 4 steals. I think she was 6 out of 11 from the field. Again, defensively, just caused a lot of problems for them. And I thought that's where we really dictated the whole game, was really out front and on the perimeter. And we scored 90 points, and that's always a plus. Had a lot of bench scored 43, which is really good, and getting those kids some real valuable minutes. Maya Taylor's playing a lot better now in her last 5. She's only got 2 turnovers in the last 5 games, which is really important as a point guard. And Jazz can tell you that. It's part of the growth and the learning process and understanding taking care of the ball and just getting it to the right people in the right spots on the floor. And so, to go in there and play like we did, I was really pleased. And so now we'll have a good day today. I'm excited about practice today. Really get after it, work, and get better. And we all know we have another game on Sunday that means a lot to a lot of people. And we're excited. I think it's sold out, and as most of our games are nowadays, which is really neat. And so we'll be excited to play at 2 o'clock on Sunday.
Vic, most people outside the program that hadn't seen your team practice before the season would probably say, if teams can shut down Tierra McCowan, then you can beat Mississippi State. But she scores 2 points, and they have 90 points last night. Just how well have you seen this offense evolve over time? I mean, obviously adding Anriel's been a big deal, and it just seems like the pieces are fitting together. The guards are playing really well. Just how well have you seen them evolve over the last few months since all the pieces have kind of come together?
Yeah, I think we're getting there. I said this in the luncheon today. I still think I can't get all 5 of them to play well on the same night. I've got one playing good and the other one doesn't play good, and then this one does play good and then this one doesn't play good. This one's been pretty consistent and this one's been pretty consistent. And so I think that's where we are. I think that's how good this team could be if we can get them all on the same page every night. But I don't think there's any doubt we're hard to defend. And I went back and looked at the film this morning, and man, we've got so much to work on offensively. I didn't like our spacing. I didn't like a lot of our stuff, but we still managed to crack out 90. And so, again, it's just the way the game was. A lot of it started with the press. We got a lot of stuff in transition. Our guards were getting to the rim. And so that's kind of where the focus. Anriel started out like a house of fire last night, 9 out of 12. They were finding her, and she was really attacking the rim. Mid-range game was on point. Again, point guard, Anriel, I think it's the Katrina McLean Award, Lisa Leslie, Jordan shooting 53% as a 2 guard right now. All these players are playing at a really high level, but getting them all on the same page every night's been my challenge. So I think that's where we are. We're not there yet, Robbie. I think we can still become quite a bit better. And some of it's offense, a lot of it's defense.
You set me up very well, thank you, for Jazz and Jordan. The coaches talked a lot about offense, but defensively, where do you think that you guys are? And in what areas do you think that you guys can get better?
I think we can still get better on help side defense. We have people taking charges more and more every day in practice and showing up in the games as well. So getting out in those passing lanes and mainly guarding the ball, really. So we got a lot of areas to improve in on defense.
Yeah, I would agree with Jordan. Just guarding the ball. If we don't guard the ball, it's going to put our 4s and 5s in foul trouble. So I think we have to work more on that and just getting help side and taking more charges each game. So.
Coach, I noticed T was in the game. I think she was the only starter on the floor in the fourth quarter for a long stretch of time. After the game, I saw that you said that you're trying to figure out your combinations. Obviously, you want to play her with Carter at the 4 more and T at the 5. Where do you think you are with those lineup combinations, and did you see what you wanted to see last night?
Yeah, I sat T in the first half. I pulled her out actually to rest her, and then we were playing really well. Jessica was playing well, and so she played 12 of the 20 minutes in the first half. But there in the fourth quarter, it's really not fair when you put freshmen on the floor to just put them out there by themselves. I always like to have a senior with them if I can. And so I had T out there with those freshmen and sophomores that were on the floor. It wasn't that she was doing anything, she didn't, I don't think she scored during that. I know she didn't. She didn't score during that time. She may have got one rebound during that time, but just her presence on the floor with those other rookies, gives them a little bit of a calming effect. I do want to see her with Jessica. I think that's a big lineup that can be good for us, and that's a lineup that we'll continue to work on. So I'm always thinking to the next game, what we possibly will need, and so that was kind of my line of thinking at that moment.
Do you feel last night was one of the most effective nights you've had with the press?
Yeah, I thought it was good. I thought our energy was good, but these two made it go. I mean, she's diving on the floor, turning the ball. We got 2 or 3 rips at half court on the ball that turned into layups, and so I thought our press was really good last night. And again, it started here. I thought Anriel was good in the float. She was really good in the float. And then we took care of business at half court with our 5 and our 3 player for the most part. They beat us deep one time. So, if that's the trade-off, I'll take that every night. But, yeah, I think so. I mean, our press was really good last night. Forced 27 turnovers total. But, the press is more about atmosphere and wearing people out. And I thought we did that.
Jazz, growing up in the state, about Mississippi State and Ole Miss. You played in this game, haven't lost this game yet. I know you've played in some big games, Final Fours and all that. Where does this kind of rank with the games that y'all play, and what's your thoughts on the rivalry and playing Ole Miss?
I just know it's a big in-state game. It's any other game. We have to take it as serious as any other SEC game. So, I think it's a big rivalry for us. But, I'm excited to play just because it's in-state. So.
Vic, you've coached against former players before. What's that dynamic like as a coach, and what do you think the response is going to be with LaCaris coming back on Sunday?
I love LaCaris Salter. She was great while she was here. She was someone that I really enjoyed coaching, and I'm sure our folks will embrace her. She's really. I'm proud that she was able to go to Jacksonville, I believe, and help them win a championship. And now that she's back at Mississippi, I think she's enjoying herself, having fun. I've seen enough film. She's doing a great job for them, and I'm really happy for the kid. I love that kid. She's always going to be somebody that's really near and dear to my heart.
For the players again, you talked about the habits that maybe are becoming more regular in practice, like taking charges. What do you think that's a tribute to, and how do you think that you guys can maybe do something similar with that, like you said about guarding the ball? How do you think those habits can be maybe practiced and made more habitual in practice and that they'll carry over to the game?
Well, I know we pride ourselves on defense here, and that's a big thing. We can't run if we don't play defense, if the ball's going through the net. So I think that's a big focus for us right now.
I agree with Jazz. It all starts in practice. We have a lot of defensive drills that we go through every day that prepares us and works on guarding the ball and taking those charges. So if we continue doing those reps, it's going to come just easier in the game.
Jazz, Coach asked you this in the luncheon about your teammate Maj. Can you just repeat the answer you said up there and anything else you'd like to share? And Jordan, you can respond to that too if you'd like.
Just, Maya's getting better every day. We go against each other every day. I think Maya's going to be a very good point guard for Coach Schaefer and the rest of her teammates. I think that she just has to work every day just like she does and get better.
What was the question that was asked?
It was asked about Maya and how she's come along. She's only had 2 turnovers in the last 5 games, and I was bragging on her a little bit.
Yeah, I think Maya is going to be big. She's getting better and better every game, every day, just learning the system, basically, and learning how a point guard is, I guess, supposed to play. And she's been taking care of the ball a lot and just understanding the offense.
Coach, your players have talked about the habits maybe becoming more regular in practice on defense, and you said that you need to do some work, a lot of work, somewhere in there on defense. Do you see the habits becoming more regular in practice and carrying over to games, or what work do you think that still needs to be done?
I mean, I just think we've got a long way to go. I saw last night some flashes of improvement. I thought, going back looking at the film, I thought our rotation and help was really good on pick and roll defense. I saw our youth, our young kids. These kids were on a bench. I saw our young kids rotating out of help and covering out on shooters. I saw Zion, a 5-player, picking up in transition and going and finding a shooter in transition because that's who's open and that's who she needed to go get. Whereas I've still got some older kids that aren't picking that up. They're running to the lane and then looking around to see who they're supposed to be getting. So I see some flashes of it. And, again, look, y'all, defensive chemistry is the last thing that comes. It's the last thing you get. We got a little spoiled last year because those seniors were really good. And, our junior class was really good even. And so you have to understand that we got a lot of new faces, a lot of new combinations. And so just one person can really make the chemistry not very good defensively. You have one person that doesn't rotate, makes the whole group look bad. So, we're working on it. It's I know what it looks like. You just keep working at it. You don't go, well, they can't do it, let's stand around the 2-3 zone. And trust me, that's what a lot of coaches are doing across the country. You see it every day, every year. Their rosters are full of All-Americans, and they just throw their hands up and go, we can't guard the ball. We foul too much. Let's just go stand around the zone. I'm not doing that, never have, never will. We're going to coach better and teach better.
With your entire signing class getting nominated for the McDonald's game and one of them making it, does that give you and your staff confirmation that you've got this thing getting that national attention from the national recruiting people?
I think we've been doing it now for a while. Last year's class was 10th, I think, in the country. This year's is in the top 10 at maybe, 7? Yeah. So, I mean, I think we've been there for a while. It's great to get someone in that game, no question about it. And but for us now, it's going to be okay. The next All-American is the one I care. I really want you to be. I really want you to be a parade All-American and a WBCA All-American. And so, just so proud of Rakia, the investment, the time that she spent on her game. Her family's invested in her, and our high school coach and AAU. She is a great player. and she's going to be so much fun to watch when she gets here. But that whole class is so special, and it is very, very cool. I got the call yesterday when I was out running before the game. I was out running on the cement, and her mom called, and I mean, I'm running down in front of the Aloft Hotel screaming, you know, like a little kid in a candy store, because she's calling to tell me, you know, she made it. And you're just excited for her, for the kid, excited for my staff, knowing how hard they worked in the recruiting process. And I'm excited for my fans, because they're going to really enjoy watching that kid play here for 4 years, and just what a wonderful kid she is. So, but that whole class is that way, and they're all going to be really fun to watch. Boy, they're really special and really talented, and it is good to have all 5 of them nominated, no question. And again, I think it speaks volumes to my staff and their efforts in recruiting.